The broader term of Métis is mixed ancestry, so the European, Scottish and French mostly, but European with men with Indigenous women.
But to take a simple mixed ancestry view is overly simplistic and is very flawed in terms of understanding who we are as Métis. The Métis are a distinct people that emerged here in Ontario around the Upper Great Lakes and along those waterways and the fur trade routes prior to Ontario becoming Ontario, but also emerging across the prairies up into the Northwest Territories, into northeastern British Columbia, and along the northern United States. We are a distinct people with our own shared history, identity, culture, language, and traditions. We built our own self-government structures, assembly by assembly, through the political sphere, in the courtrooms, and at the negotiating table. And in fact, if you look through Métis government history, you'll see a strong likening to the labor movement and organizing at a community level.
So the sash comes from the fur trade. It was adopted from primarily the Eastern Woodland Indian style of finger weaving techniques, and it was a sign of voyageur, Métis voyageur specifically, his badge of occupation. It was primarily used as kind of like a weightlifter's belt to hold everything in when they were carrying those heavy packs. It could be used as a first aid kit, as a rope, as a bowl if needed when covered with beeswax. So it was really important because there was lots of different uses. It could fit in a canoe nice and compact, but it was also a sign of occupation. So finger weaving is very important because it's the technique that we use to create those.
The Métis would have gotten beads in the fur trade, right? So like they would bring beads over and they would trade it for all the pelts and everything. Well, it was something they've been doing since the beginning, since the 1700s, 1800s, and it was a way of decorating and embellishing things. There is a spirit bead. So your spirit bead is a bead that it's off. It's not right. It doesn't follow the pattern. And the spirit bead is because nothing in the world is perfect. So the beading cannot be perfect.
Bienvenue à la conférence, bienvenue à l'Assemblée. On est ici pour apprendre l'histoire de la ceinture fléchée des Métis. Michif, it's an oral language. Like where I come from, it's a language we speak on a daily basis, and it has no structure like French. It was pre-contact. There were a lot of First Nation languages. And when the French, English, Orkney, Gaelic arrived, they started mixing, marrying Ojibwe, Cree, Ojibwe, and that's where the mixture of the languages began.
Fiddle is not an Indigenous instrument to Canada. It came with our European ancestors, and they exchanged these fiddles with the Indigenous people that were here. And over time, from passing the tradition from one person to another person to another person, you start to see a unique style of music form with our Métis communities, influenced from First Nations footwork as well as Scottish Highland dancing, Irish dancing, and French-Canadian step dancing. And when you put all those influences together, you get a really unique style of footwork known as Métis jigging.
This has been 5 years in the making and longer in the dreaming. We worked hard. We had it completely ready to go before, 2020, and then 2020 happened, and now we're here. And I can't tell you how happy I am. I am so thrilled because this was such a necessary, educational, and I think that it's going to you're going to see the members blossom because of this experience. I do think that will happen.
Our story, the Métis story, is one of resistance and resilience. We have always fought for our rights, fought against injustice. We are a strong and a resilient people.